Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We make our way back for meditation this morning. Welcome to all. Good morning, all. Hopping into our space this morning. So welcome to all, as we've been doing each morning, having this time together. Welcome, everyone. So happy to see you all again. Good morning, good morning. Just trying to get you all set up as usual, so we're all comfy together. Good morning, everyone. So this morning we continue with a meditation that we're going to carry actually into our yoga as well. So we're going to take it into the Vichara Yoga Sadhana this morning after the meditation. And this meditation is connecting to the aliveness, truly. Good morning to everyone all around the globe. It's so beautiful to see you in so many different places around the world. So what I'm going to invite you to do is already get seated, get in a place of preparation, get in a place where you feel comfortable. So even as I'm sharing the gift of this pointing and this meditation, you already feel like you're sinking into its awareness, sinking into the awareness of it, sinking into the sense of residing. So let's prepare then by finding a cushion or finding a place on a chair or on a couch where you can truly settle in, where you can get comfortable. And so that which we will be exploring this morning, as I mentioned, is this exploration really in many ways of being alive. You know, as you've been noticing, all of the pointings, they may seem varied, but they're all pointing to one place, which is the recognition of pure existence, the recognition of being alive. And so there is a sensation of aliveness, almost like a dancing fullness that can be felt when we get quiet enough. You know, there's a beautiful female saint and mystic and poet from India. Her name is Mirabai. She's since passed, but she left the body. But Mirabai said something so beautiful about getting this quiet. And she said, get quiet enough that you can hear the blood passing through the veins. Get quiet enough that you can hear the blood passing through the veins. In many ways, Mirabai Ma was offering a great pointing, saying to us, if you really step into your own inner silence, if you find that inner quietude, then you can truly come to know the depths of what it is to be alive. So get quiet enough that you can hear the blood passing through the veins. This was a gift from Mirabai. And in the same way, if we get quiet enough, then we can also, we're having a bit of shifting here. So if we get quiet enough, we can also feel the aliveness of what it is to be energetically alive, to be physically alive. We can feel the pulsation of life, the pulsation of aliveness. We can also feel the pulsation of Instagram alive that wants to shift and move for all of you on Instagram. Okay, there, I think we found stability. So throughout the tradition, there have been pointings towards this, towards feeling intimately our sense of being alive. Not being alive in one way or another, not being alive in a labeled or conceptualized way, so not saying I'm alive in this quality or that quality, although that may arise and we may sense that and know that, and that may come to be part of the exploration of what it is to be in Prakriti, to be in nature, to be made, we can say, made of consciousness into form. However, just to be alive, just the sensation of Prakriti dancing, just the sensation of nature dancing, this is a powerful awareness, because what it does is it strips away the attempt to be alive in one way or another. It strips away the attempt to search or to seek for our aliveness to be expressed in one form or another. And it allows us, which I think is very potent at this time, to just be grateful for being alive. For just being grateful in many ways, for feeling that sense of life animating us, that we are lived into, breathed into, that there is this reverberating, pulsating life force that sustains and maintains and allows us to be here. And so when we come intimately in contact with that, what happens is there's a deep sense of trust and surrender and softening into life's hold, softening into life's abode. Because then as we feel that intimate aliveness, we can also recognize, okay, on some level, everything else, all the various waves and currents of life, yes, they may create fluctuations in this aliveness, but behind and within everything, I am simply alive. And I am alive now. It contacts us with the reality of this very moment, which as we become more attuned and in many ways more seated, more self-settled into this moment, then we also notice that all of the challenges, all of the illness, mental but also physical, that arises from the ruminations into past and future and this constant oscillation of craving and aversion, as we feel into our aliveness here and now, that game for a moment is stepped outside of. That game actually in many ways loses its seductive quality. It loses its potency, because in comparison to the potency of the self, the potency of this alive fragrance of what it is to be consciousness in form, the games of the mind just no longer have, they can no longer outshine that. They become so minimal in comparison. And so our meditation this morning and this evening will be on exactly this. This awareness staying anchored to the very sensation of that aliveness, that pulsation. And so some of you might be asking, wait, what do you mean? What pulsation? What sense of aliveness? But as we get quiet, all of us are going to notice, not some of us, not a chosen few, all of us are going to notice that in the quietude, as we give a little less attention to the constant incessancy of the mind and mental movement, that in the background there is always this hum, this feeling, this taste of being so enlivened, being so danced through by life. And yes, if we get sort of quiet and still enough, we can reside there without any effort. It's an effortless kind of sinking into what already is. So that will be our exploration, not just for this morning and this evening's meditation, dhyana, for our sit, but also in our vichara yoga sadhana this morning. Before we come to silence, I would like to read to you from the Vijnana Tantra, as I've been reading to you on other days. So this is one translation of the Vijnana Tantra, which is called the Radiant Sutras, which has been translated by Lauren Roche. It's a beautiful translation, and I would suggest to all of you maybe to get a copy of this for yourself if you're inspired. So it has 112 different pointings to reality, to existence, to, in many ways they're called 112 meditations, but meditation is really about knowing who we are, residing in the natural state. So there are 112 recognitions, self-recognitions. And so this one is exactly about what we've been pointing to. experience the substance of the body and the world as made up of vibrating particles. And these particles made up of even finer energies. Drifting more deeply, feel into each pulse of energy as it condenses from infinity and dissolves back into it continuously. Noticing this, breathe easily with infinity dancing everywhere. Feel into each pulse of energy as it condenses from infinity and dissolves back into it continuously. Noticing this, breathe easily with infinity dancing everywhere. So this is truly pointing to the recognition that if we settle into this vibrating, pulsating, these vibrating particles, as the Radiant Sutras is offering, of aliveness, we start to move well beyond a concept that we are held or confined within this physical construct. That vibration is felt as an intimate interconnectedness with all of life. That vibrating consciousness, in many ways, consciousness into form, into dancing energy, this vibrating energy communicates and helps us to recognize that we are ever connected to all of life. So this will be our exploration for this morning, and I will put this again onto underneath this meditation on Facebook Live and in the story on Instagram Live, so you can come back to it at any point. Let's come to sit together into this awareness. Let the body find a gentle, soft comfort, seated and still. And as the body finds comfort, feel the way in which the breath too finds its naturalness. It moves into its own ease. Nothing that needs to be done with the breath. A natural flow. And stay here in the intimacy of the breath and the relaxed body. Stay here embedded, anchored to the sensation of being alive now. Existence dancing, expressing in this aliveness. And let all become truly still. In that stillness of the body, but also this anchoring into the sensations of being alive in breath, there is a stillness that also enters into the mind. Quiet. And don't go searching for one sensation or another. Instead, arrive here to what already is. Stay put in your already isness. And staying here in that quietude, let life reveal its fullness. Get quiet enough to feel that vibrating, pulsating life, energy, prana shakti. And as you come to know intimately this pulsation, recognize, feel the way in which it is not confined by a bodily outline. Feel the way in which it connects you vastly into the infinity. You as a drop of all of life. The sense of expansion. Staying here, basking in the presence of this aliveness now. And if at any moment the old tired tendency of going up into story or thought starts to become identified with, just simply return to this feeling of being alive now. Even with the sound of the bell, feeling how it reverberates within that aliveness. Continuing to feel this expansive connection to all. The fabric, the weave of life that lives well beyond any kind of physical construct. A sense of tethering, tying to all of life. And this great celebration of being alive now. We start to introduce a bit of movement into the body, but nothing changes. Even if we come into the sense of this embodiment, all remains here in awareness. And then coming to open the eyes. And even that too is experienced within this great vast field of aliveness. We will meet again this evening for meditation at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in these same places. And otherwise we'll take a couple minutes of break now and then meet again for the embodied movement-based practice, still really truly a sadhana meditation, Vichara Yoga. So in a couple moments meeting you on your mats. Have a beautiful day, everyone, or a beautiful evening wherever you are in the world, sending love and blessings to each and every one of you. Namaste. Bye, everyone.